question is, can you state what you understand as the one difference, if any, between the terms equality and justice?
For me, I guess I can put it this way. So it's not just about saying that we're going to have staff that are from a BAME background. I think it needs to be more than that. It needs to also be fair in terms of what we're offering our students, and that's what it means to me, equality and justice.
Thank you.
I looked at the definitions, and equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights or opportunities, and I go with that. And justice is the demand for this to be made so in actuality.
Great.
Yeah, so I looked up definitions and I thought to myself, actually, what is the difference? Because I previously looked at them as similar, but in reality, you can say everybody is equal, but are they? And what are you doing to redress where we know there are differences so that there is justice?
Thank you.
So first of all, I think we've got to achieve the justice, such as social justice and change, and then because equality is not like anything's less important, but to have a completely equal state, we have to understand each other, which we don't talk about even. So the differences.
Thank you.
I think equality is useful when it's applied to issues of access and opportunity. I think it's less useful when it's applied as a social term because it doesn't recognise difference. Whereas social justice, I think, is a better term in terms of that because it demands the right for each individual on their own terms.
Thank you.
I haven't looked up definitions, but for me, equality in the UK and maybe in the Western world has been muddled up with a lot of metrocracy, so like metocracy, metocracy. So I think we all believe that everyone can be equal if they all pull up their bootstraps and if they all work hard, but we don't look at the privilege that some people necessarily have that they're born with. So if you grew up in a two-parent family, you're going to have a different sort of being if you grew up in a one-parent family, same as race, same as sexuality. So for me, equality doesn't exist because no one is equal, whereas justice is understanding that no one is equal and giving people equity in order to access the same sort of opportunities.
Thank you. Nice.
Equality for me means having an equal playing field, and realistically that doesn't happen. And with regards to justice, what instinctively comes to me is someone who's been wronged. So there's a term of giving them justice. Again, within the academic context, I don't really have a strong view. I can't put it into context.
Thank you very much.